Hi, this is Enrique, and today we're gonna talk about 5 tips to deal with bad thoughts and bad emotions. Tip number 1, identify the triggers. Yes, it's very important for us to discover which kind of things are making us feel sad, angry, for example. It can be triggers like someone or some place, some event like a breakup. Yes, someone who is facing a breakup has to understand that it's gonna maybe deal with thoughts like I'm not good enough, I am not worthy. So it's very important to identify which are the triggers. It helps us to deal and to manage the situations in order to protect us against the bad thoughts that may come. Tip number 2, practice practice mindfulness. Yes, tip number 2 is to practice mindfulness, to be fully present and aware in the present moment. It helps us to identify the thoughts and the emotions that we are feeling. We are able to understand and stay more connected with us. We cannot understand ourselves if we are, for example, worried about the future or stuck in the past, ruminating past decisions. So practicing mindfulness allows us to really understand which kind of thoughts we are having. And tip number 3, challenge the thoughts. Yes, once we are able to identify our bad thoughts through mindfulness, we are able to challenge them. We can criticize them, we can question their validity. Yes, we can ask questions like, how can I be so sure that I'm not good enough? How can I be so sure that my business is not going to work? So we can use philosophy. We can ask the questions to criticize our thoughts and replace them by positive thoughts, and that will create beliefs that will allow us to have the results that we want in our lives. The tip number 4 is practice gratitude. Yes, gratitude allows us to have positive feelings even if we are facing the worst situations in our lives. So even if we, for example, if we are facing depression, we can still recognize all the small miracles that we already have in our life. So practicing gratitude is one of the best ways to deal with bad thoughts, to prevent bad feelings. And so tip number 5 is to celebrate progress. Yes, and I'm not talking about the big results. I'm talking about the small progress. When we celebrate our small actions, we reinforce habits related to what we want. We feel more motivated to do the actions that we want to. Reinforce positive habits. So it's very important to recognize and to celebrate all of the small progress that we do daily. So I talked about 5 tips to deal with bad thoughts and bad emotions. Tip number 1 is to identify the triggers. Tip number 2 is to practice mindfulness. Tip number 3 is to challenge the thoughts. Tip number 4, practice gratitude. And tip number 5, celebrate progress. So this is Enrique, and thanks very much for watching.